Flybubble paragliding channel.
We are free flight experts and equipment specialists helping you get the best flying experience.
We've just come back from a trip to France where we were invited to go and see Supair.
The weather was really nice.
Ooh. So we got to fly.
Indeed we did.
In Grand-Bornand. We were testing the Supair BIRDY.
The birdie.
BIRDY. And so that's their A-rated wing.
Takeoff is at 2,000 metres, which is about 6,500 feet. How was the launch?
How was the launch? Well, so with these light wind or nil wind almost and crossed, I was a little nervous, but actually the glider behaved beautifully. The launch actually was well, I didn't need to worry essentially. The glider popped up very nicely, progressively, was ready to go, wanted to fly, but yes, headed out and sniffed out a thermal and well, just promptly thermaled up and got super high. So we'd taken off at 2,000 and probably gained another 500,000.
Well, meanwhile, I was I wasn't ready. I'd been filming Nancy launching and faffing about, as I do. But I was really impressed. The glider inflated so easily and it just inflated really right across the glider, nice and even, came up. I could feel positive pressure in the wing, so I could feel it was all good. And then a few steps and it was off. So it was, yeah, really impressive. And the conditions were really great for testing the birdie. And because we had good thermals, some quite nice thermals and a bit more turbulence and a bit of up and down, so it was really good. So we had a nice fly and a good test on that. How did you find the birdie?
Testing the speed bar and putting in big ears and probably a few little sort of wobble unders or just yeah, I mean it's got lovely energy, and it's definitely as a high A. I felt like I had the reassurance, which is nice, especially when I was flying somewhere new like that and in the mountains. It's always nice. So that was gave you the confidence. But the wing, you could feel it had energy and wanted to fly, and certainly the thermaling, getting into the turns, it wanted to get into the turns nicely, get a little bit of the bank. It wasn't obviously cranking it in, but it was nice progressive turns. So how would you say the brake pressure's?
Moderate. Yeah, so the moderate's not heavy.
No.
And a bit, maybe even slightly on the lighter side, but moderate. So moderate brake pressure and a nice positive feel. Got a bit more energy than your average A glider does.
Yeah.
Is it a high A or is it a hot A? Is it really an A glider, or is this kind of a kind of low mid B glider that's got an A stamp on it? What did you think? Did you feel like this is a glider that really does have A safety, or is this kind of really a bit of a cheat?
No, actually I would say that it was really great for somebody who is a new pilot, so they're fresh out of school, and they're wanting that reassurance of having an A-rated wing, but they're not going to feel bored. They're not going to get bored with it. It's got the feeling of a low B glider. It's easy for the pilot. I think the way that it launches, the way that you can feel it in the air with its light to moderate sort of brake pressure and everything, the glider responds well. So I think you can feel what's going on with the glider. It's giving you that communication, energy, a bit more feedback, fun as well.
Something that's not a basic school glider, but it's got a bit more performance, but still feels quite reassuring and more dampened. The speed acceleration felt better than your average A glider, just a bit more than that, but maybe not as much as a sort of the mid B sort of gliders. It's quite similar to the low B category of wings. Did you do big ears on it?
I did big ears, and they popped in nicely, and also popped out on their own as well, so without any input required. So
they weren't too physical to push in,
No.
to pull in, and they had a slight delay, and then they just came out on their own, didn't they?
They-
So yeah, the risers are relatively skinny for an A glider. They're more like you would see on a low to mid B glider, so they're definitely made to be a little bit more sleek and performance orientated, but still easy to handle. The one thing that's surprised us about the Birdie is that it comes as standard with soft links.
Yes.
So rather than mayons for where the lines connect, it's still made out of relatively durable materials, but they've tried to then make other things like the lighter, skinnier risers, soft links and other details to make the glider more on the lighter side. It's not a super lightweight glider, but it's relatively compact.
Yeah.
Isn't it? And I had the opportunity to give the glider a bit more of a test than I generally do back in the UK, although I do some manoeuvres and stuff. So I actually got to do pretty much full SIV on the Birdie, which is great.
Yeah, fantastic
stalls,
opportunity. Yeah.
stalls, spins, collapses, spiral dives, things like that. So I tested out all those different aspects, not in a EN or LTF official testing way, more like in a normal flying kind of way. I did a few stalls, and the first one to clear the air, I actually did purposely a kind of a bit of a aggressive old style messy stall where I just kind of stuffed the brakes and let the glider horseshoe back behind me, and I was very impressed how the glider stabilized, and then just by easing my brakes back up I could get the glider quite easily into a nice stable backfly position, which I was really impressed with. That was my first stall with it, and first time I'd done a stall on the glider for a little while, and it was really well behaved. And then last bit of break up and it just nodded off, I just did a little nod. And then the spins, I only did really more search for spin, and at the point of that, very well behaved. The recovery was a non-event. To me, that I really felt like I'm seeing this glider is an A glider. This is where I think the low B gliders are a little bit hotter, certainly some of them, in their reactions. And then collapses as well. The glider definitely felt like this is a proper A glider. How it behaved in the collapses, I pulled full frontals and asymmetrics, did a few of those, and all of them were just a non-event. So that was very impressive. Spiral dive as well. I didn't do a fully locked out spiral dive, I don't think, but I did that, and again the glider just put my hands up and the glider climbed out and recovered and felt like an A glider to me. So yeah, very impressive. Well, we hope that you've enjoyed this little mini review of the Supair Birdie. I hope you've enjoyed that and
Yes.
had fun. Right, we're now going to do a nice sort of vocal training bit. Yeah, ready? So ready? After me. Go on, Nancy, get it out. Get it out. Go on.
Right. Yeah.
And don't forget, if you like this video, hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel. Write lots of silly comments below, down there.
Yes,
Write them. You
talk
need
to
to write
us.
a comment.
We want to hear from you.